Hello, it's still Sunday the 3rd of January and it is now 11:48. Bearing in mind, I suppose I did stop and have a bit of breakfast. When I got up this morning I had made the pancake batter, so yes, we had pancakes for breakfast and it was lovely. So we are now on to chapter 15 of Been There, Done That, Still Not Bought the T-shirt. And the title of this chapter is Living the Dream. I'm just going to proceed. That's all. Ever wonder why people respond in certain ways to questions? For instance, when people ask me how I am, even though my world could be falling down round my ear holes and I could be having a particularly bad day with pain, I respond with, I am living the dream. I'm not being sarcastic. I am being optimistic. And my dream is different to someone else's dream. I am grateful for so much in my life, and the more positive and optimistic I remain, the more I know good things will happen. I always feel by keeping myself in the frame of mind that I am living my dream keeps me focused on what is good. Food for thought. Always remember, my vision of what the dream is will always be different to everyone else's. Do you want to live my dream? Do you want me to live your dream? Do you want to live your own dream? What is your dream? Why are you afraid to feel like you are already living it? What harm are you causing by admitting to yourself that what your dream consists of is simply getting out of bed every morning? When I was young, my biggest dream in life was to be married by the time I was 30 in the church I was christened in Enniscarry, and at least one child on the way. None of those things happened. Your dreams are not always going to turn out how you imagine them to be. An incredibly wise man taught me when I was very young that your subconscious mind is far superior to your conscious mind. That man was Mr. Paul Golden. At the time, his son, Ricky Golden, was engaged to a very famous actress called Yasmin Bleeth. And anybody that watched the original Baywatch will know who Yasmin Bleeth is. And Paul used to joke at the time he wanted Ricky to marry me, not her. It's true. I know. I think I was all of 17 years of age. God bless him, if he saw me now, he might change his mind. But anyway, however, his words always stayed with me, and when none of my conscious dreams happened, I programmed more into the subconscious. I knew that I would be looked after and that the universe had more things planned for me and far beyond what I could consciously dream of. Hence why I live by, I'm living the dream. Your dreams at night come from your subconscious, not your conscious. Just think about that one. We spoke about starting on a path with a goal in mind, but to be mindful that the path in your goal can move from where it began to where it ends, or there again, it may never end. It is the exact same thing as a dream. There is, of course, the concept, be careful what you wish for. This is because so many people have achieved something in life and it didn't quite turn out as they expected. Or you get your dream and you go, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Careful what you dream for. And my theory on this is because they were too pig-headed not to look at things from all avenues and missed out on other things along the way. There is a lot of experiences, beauty and learnings to see along this path of life. The problem is tunnel vision. And the more you just remain focused on one thing, the more you miss out on. Personally, I don't go into a forest and look at one tree. Go to the zoo and look at one animal. Go to a museum and look at one artifact. Go to a gallery and look at one painting. Why would I go through life and not look at it from all angles? I'm not missing out on all that life has to offer just because my human side has an idea or is pig-headed. My human side can be pig-headed. I am a spiritual being having a human experience. So let me see it all, not just what is at the end of my nose. I find myself once again being drawn to the very inspiring words of Mr. Albert Einstein. The one who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. Those who walk alone are likely to find themselves in places no one has ever been before. Fabulous words, aren't they? Very powerful. Why are you afraid to tell someone that your dream in life is to work in a sweetie shop? To be a housewife? That was one of my dreams. Be a housewife. Be a mom. Become a hiker. Become a comedian. Work as a lollipop person. It is no one else's business in life what your dreams look like. Again, you are walking this life, a spiritual being having a human experience. And it is up to you to decide what that looks like. Don't look back and regret things you tried. Look back and regret the things you didn't try. And I just want to pause for a second there. Why do I always refer to people being like that you're a spiritual being having a human experience? Because when we pass away, our spirit leaves our body. It's not a religious thing. It's not a hocus pocus thing. It's just a fact. Our spirits leave our body when we pass away. Hence why we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Simple as. It's quite profound, isn't it? I thought so when I heard it first. And on we go. I never had any interest in taking a year or two off to travel to Australia, America, or other far off lands. I am such a homebird. Unbelievably, I am a homebird. I actually don't even like staying in people's houses. I'm really uncomfortable staying in people's houses. I'd actually much rather drive somewhere and drive home later that night. I am one of life's, strange people. But anyway, I love going and visiting countries naturally and cultures, but I want to come home after 2 weeks. I think it's amazing the people who do want to go traveling and do all of that type of thing. Hats off to you. I wish I had been more like that in some ways, but I don't regret it. I really don't. I love my home. My dreams consist of, but not limited to, I want a small cottage with a garden. I want to walk barefooted through the grass and the sand and forests. When I finally get my health under control, I want to learn how to ballroom dance properly. I want to be able to have barbecues in my own back garden. I want to go horse riding again. I want to take my beautiful camera and disappear into nature and capture its beauty. I want to pay my bills, have food on my table, buy presents, spoil my loved ones, and help charities. I want to be a motivational speaker. I want this book to be published. And remembering at the time, I still thought that that's what I was doing. So I'm taking it in a slightly different. So do you know what? I can tick that because this book is still out for everybody to see. Other people's dreams consist of loads of money, top of their careers, big cars, flashy houses, celebrity status. And I say, more power to them, because that is their dream. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'd like to shake your hand and say, well done, fair play to you. As little people, we read fairy stories where it usually ends up in the girl marrying the handsome prince. And while those stories had a prince in a castle, reality is not quite the same for the majority of us. But it doesn't mean we don't get our version of the handsome prince with the castle. Depends on what your castle is. My castle will be, at the moment, is our apartment, but eventually will be a cottage or a bungalow, whatever we get. Stop assuming that dreams can only be winning the lotto, having the flashiest of cars, going to all the expensive places, having the husband or the wife with the trust fund, having celebrity status. It is for some people, but not for everybody. Or worse than any of that, stop pretending that they are your dreams, when in fact your dream is a small cottage in the centre of a forest surrounded by the fairies. The best thing you can ever do is be who you truly are and be proud of who you are. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you a photograph that I took dated the 10th of October 2020. So just, can you see that there? Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I did have to turn you around again and show you that. That's a picture of me. Thing is, I adore Christmas, if you haven't copped that one already. I have already admitted I believe in Santa Claus. I took this and sent it to people just because I got a feeling there were people who needed a smile, and it worked. My dream is to go to Lapland because I believe in magic. That is the basis of all my dreams. All my dreams are all based around magic and what it can bring and the magic that life can bring, even in all its ups and letdowns. Magic will always sparkle through in some shape or form. Earlier, I told you of some of the things that my dreams consist of. But my ultimate dream is always living in the magic of what people and life can bring. I have been suffering with my health, and the last number of months have been tough again. I work in a company where I have been the forefront of people's thoughts and understanding and help. People have done things for me that have touched my heart in more ways than I will ever know. Life stepped forward to greet me with its magic when I had some very dark days. And that magic was brought forward in the beautiful kindness of my work colleagues. I never have to question that I am not living my dream, because my dream is always to live life's magic. And my work colleagues have shown me in more ways than one that that magic is still very much alive. So when I am asked, "How are you?" and I say, "I'm living the dream," this is not a sarcastic or ungenuine. This is true and heartfelt and said with pride. I did a little research into people obtaining their dreams and goals in life. Not everyone is going to have simple and straightforward dreams like mine. So I stumbled across an interesting article, and I seem to be stumbling across articles of people's names that I struggle with pronouncing. So I do apologize again in advance. But I stumbled across an interesting article by a gentleman called Abayomi Jegede, called 10 Things Successful People Do to Reach Their Dreams. You can Google the entire things yourself. I recommend it. But this interesting man researched the habits of successful men and successful women. And he put together the top things successful people do. And here they are. Number 1, they set goals and follow them through. Number 2, they are consistent. Number 3, they make the best of every situation. Number 4, they take responsibility for their lives. Number 5, they form valuable relationships. Number 6, they make unusual sacrifices. Number 7, they never give up. Number 8, they take risks. Number 9, They cherish hard work and discipline. And number 10, they create value. I highly recommend that you read the article, but even if I was to take the above list and apply them to my own life and my ambitions that I have for me and my life, no matter how big or small your goal is, all of these important points can be applied. The author is certainly a man who has done his research and is clearly passionate about what he wants from his life, but also what he wants the world to have from their own life. Otherwise, why would he have gone to the trouble he did to share it? Earlier, I stated I have not got a jealous bone in my body. I have celebrated people's success even when I did not know whether we could keep a roof over our heads or food on the table. I have had pure excitement for people even after I had been rolling around the floor in so much pain and I had no more tears left to cry. I do not just believe in my own dreams. I believe in other people's too. Too many people do not believe in themselves, but I believe in them. I believe in you. Sometimes the next quote is, sometimes we're afraid of trying our best because we might still fail. But trying your best is a victory in itself. I believe in you. And it's titled, Your Nameless Friend. So now that you've been given food for thought, I have developed an exercise below. Have a go with it. And I'll see you on the other side. Remember, the only rule is you have to do remember the only rule is you have to be truthful with yourself. So the title of the first section, I am listing my very own dreams, goals, ambitions, magical aspirations, and what am I going to do to achieve it? So number 1, what is the first dream, stroke goal, stroke ambition, magical aspiration that really bounces to mind? Go on, answer it. Write it down. 2, what is the second dream or goal or ambition, magical aspiration that really bounces to mind? Number 3, what is the third dream, goal, ambition, magical aspiration that really bounces to mind? Number 4, what is the fourth dream, goal, ambition, magical inspiration that really bounces to mind? Number 5, what is the fifth dream, goal, ambition, magical aspiration that really bounces to mind? Now, section 2. Now that I've been very truthful and honest with what my dreams, goals, ambitions, magical inspirations are, what am I going to do about it? Number 1, am I going to allow myself to be defined by my friends, colleagues, families, status? Yes or no? Number 2, am I going to let my present path in life prevent me from achieving what I ultimately want? Yes or no? Number 3, will my dreams, goals, ambitions, magical aspirations hurt anyone I care about? Yes or no? Number 4, am I allowing other people's opinions sway me from reaching my potential? Yes or no? Did I do a course in the past and did not do anything else with my dream because I thought people were better than me? Yes or no? Section 3. Now that I've taken away my roadblocks of what I am blaming for from stopping me having my dreams, goals, aspirations, and magical aspirations. Question 1. When do I want to begin the next stage of my exciting life? Number 2. Who do I want to share this exciting new life with? Number 3. Do I have a special notebook for writing in, or do I need to drive, walk to the shop and buy that special notebook for anything I need to jot down, and then in years to come I can look back on what I first wrote and see just how far I have come? This is in Tesco's at the moment, reduced to €2.75. And there's 320 pages in it. I'm just saying. Number 4, is there a mentor I can turn to help me take my first steps? And number 5, what is my inner child, inner knowingness, inner voice trying to tell me? And the last section is my daily affirmations that I am going to repeat to myself in order to help me to achieve this. Number 1, I can do this. Number 2, I believe in myself. Number 3, I owe it to myself. Number 4, I am myself. And number 5, thank you, me, for being me. So, how did you survive the exercise? Was it uplifting, mind-blowing, weightlifting, surprising? No matter what it was the biggest step you will ever take in taking back your power and taking your first steps in believing in yourself. As Neil Armstrong rightly said, this is one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. I love that no matter what happens in life, we do have choices, even when you don't think you do. You do have choices, even when someone is being mean, two-faced and backstabbing you. You have the choice on how to react or walk away. When life has handed you a dark time, you have the choice of how and when to let the light in. You have the choice when things are difficult. You have the choice who to turn to for help, even if it's a perfect stranger. Too many people say, I don't have someone to talk to. But you do. Nowadays, with the way social media is and Facebook or Instagram or even YouTube, there's always somebody to talk to. There's charities who are set up. Pick up the phone. There's people there to help, even if you can't go to friends and family. There's always somebody to help. I turned to somebody September, and an online counselling service, and I only did one session with them. Now, when I tell you I got a huge amount out of that session, I can't even begin to explain how much I actually got out of the session. And I had full intentions on continuing it, but within a very, very short space of time, I had an awful lot to do with doctors and hospitals and tests and going on to have an operation and stuff like that. So it did get put on the back burner, but the person in particular did jump to my mind there actually only yesterday. And once my operations are over, I fully intend on going back to this online help, because there's a lot of difficulties I struggle with, a huge amount of difficulties I struggle with, and people would probably be very, very surprised to know what I actually struggle with. And but this person who I was put with helped me immensely, and so there is always somebody out there to help. Don't ever think that there's not, because there is, and sometimes it is a perfect stranger. And lastly, even when we do not feel like that there is a choice, something will always happen to get you to the place that you need to be in to make that choice. And it's usually synchronicity from the universe. See ya.